Welcome once again to Octane Mobile Gaming with yours truly, iOctane. So today we do all possible deck combination, and currently we are looking at a deck that I came up with, which is quite cheap. It's quite accessible. It consists of 3 main cards, from 2 from previous events, 1 from the current event, and 2 of the support card from the current event. Now, several other cards on this particular deck, I've got the kill skill. So Durus, Apostate of Hell, was the first main card that actually featured the kill skill for its event. So it has Arcane Killer. So this card will spawn up to 6 light power gem 1s at a rate of 1 + 1 additional per 6 skill point, which is not bad. But this one is the Pierce the Resistance. It will create up to 22 light power gem 1s at a rate of 2 + 2 additional per 50 light commander skill points. This one is absolutely brilliant. It increases the HP of this card, which is not too bad. This is the main card from the K-pop deck, and it creates 4 light power gem 1s, and if you're dancing, it's doubled. The passive, every free turn it creates 4 light power gem 1s, which is absolutely fabulous as well. The current support card will heal, and it will create light gems each time you attack, and I'm running 2 of those. I'm running Elaine Spear, 2 of the K-pop relic. I'm running 1 ultimate relic from Durus's deck, and I'm running a light scepter to aid in recovery. So this particular combination I use for the quests primarily because the ultra rare, which I got a second copy from the 500 gem pack, will create power gem each time it attacks. So I'm running the 2 copies that I have, 1 main card, 1 master collection card, sorry, and 2 of my ultra rare for the commander events. This one, however, is my main deck that I'm using for the bosses. It works quite well. It's quite powerful. It's quite fast. It's quite effective. It's brilliant. As I said, this current deck is quite fabulous. It's quite brilliant. So we're going to jump right in, and we're going to see all of these decks in action. First up, it's my cheap and cheerful deck. And we're going to go right in, and we're going to go up against a legend boss. Legend bosses, your kill skill is never active against legend bosses because they don't fall in any of the species. They are legends. So straight away you can see the damage output is quite good. What you want to do, you want to get your skill point as high as possible so your sheriff can create quite a bit of power gems. So when you get up to 300 skill points, he will create 27 power gem 1s, which is quite good. In the 3rd generation, you don't see much main cards that can create that amount of power gems. So this card is quite good. First of its kind. These decks are the first of their kinds anyway. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna keep going until I get up to 300 skill points, and then I'm going to activate the battle skill for my 3 main cards. So I've been activating the battle skill for my 2 support cards, and this is to aid in my recovery to keep my deck alive. So as you can see, the chip damage is doing quite a bit. So the boss is almost dead anyway. Because as I said, for a cheap deck, a deck that is quite accessible, it's quite powerful. So we're up to 300 skill points. So I'm just going to activate all 3 of my main card. Full board of power gems. Swap your power gems. And there we go. 18 billion for my 3 main cards, 14 billion respectively for my 2 support cards. Let's look at the overkill. The overkill is 84 billion. 84 billion, which is not really bad. So if you haven't got the sheriff and you haven't got any of those main cards, these are some cards that you could add to the deck. However, these 4 of these cards are intensity dependent. So Apollo Setting Sun is from the same deck as Kronos, and they both depend on Fable Intensity. The difference between these two cards is Eternal Kronos requires 2 less stacks to create its extra power gem, while Apollo needs 10, Kronos needs only 8. Once these cards have enough intensity, they can fill the board with power gems. Primal Guardian and Ultra Ivor from the same deck. Primal Guardian creates power gem 2s. It's dependent on creature intensity. For every 10 stack, you get 1 extra power gem 2. While Ultra Ivor creates power gem 1. Both of them do the same thing. Now this one, Golden Warrior, is a bit older than the 4 cards that I showed you before. It creates power gem based on the amount of light gems that you have on the board. It is not able to fill the board with power gems. However, every little does help. It creates 1 power gem 2 plus 1 additional power gem 2 for every 5 light gem that's on the board. So it can create a maximum of 8 light power gem. It's got a 3 turn cooldown, which makes it quite quicker than Ultra Ivor, Primal Guardian, Eternal Kronos, and Apollo Setting Sun. Now this deck is for my quest, so we're not gonna showcase this deck because I haven't got any keys for the quest. However, I'm going to showcase this particular combination. This combination is quite powerful, it's quite effective. This combo, even though it's only got 2 pink star version, 2 pink star ultimate form on it, could easily take you up to prestige 5 and give you the maximum overkill and all the bosses. So let's go ahead. We're going to use 1 key for this particular combination. This deck is quite quick. All you have to do is allow your relics to populate the board. You swap your power gems and you can see the damage output on the deck. Damage output is quite high for turn 1. On turn 1, however, you will not get the 100% overkill. So if you really and truly want 100% overkill, one of the things you could do is reduce the amount of relics that you have in your lineup. You could take away 2 of your relics and go on. Let me show you. So if I unequip 2 of my relics, I should produce a bit less power gems and a bit less gems on my first turn. So I won't be able to kill the boss on my first turn, which gives me the opportunity to use my battle skills, which will then do the perfect job. However, you will not have enough skill point on your second turn, so you might have to go to your third turn, which will give me 80 skill points, which will bring in my inventive invocators, and they will give me a big extra power gem. You don't really need the inventive invocators. However, they do have this particular skill. It increased the damage taken by the boss. It's like the constrictive clamp from the water affinity. Can't remember the name of the card right now, but it's really effective and it does help to deal a bit more damage, which makes it quite a good skill to have. So I'm gonna re-equip my relics. So as I said, this particular deck is really quick, really powerful, really fun to play. It's really a good deck to have. I would say as a utility deck, it's not a utility deck now, but going forward, it's a utility deck. It's quite versatile in which you can add loads of different cards to it. you can add loads of other ultimate form to it, and your deck will perform to its highest standard. This deck is, I believe this mechanic is, if not the best, it is one of the best mechanics in the game. I would love to see this mechanic in the Slayer, on the Slayer side of the scale. It's quite powerful in the Commander side. I would like to see it transit over into the Slayer side of the event as well. So that's it. That's all I've got for you today. But as I say, try and get this deck. I'm not encouraging you to go and spend your money, but I'm encouraging you to use your gems or use your dust. So as usual, please like, please subscribe, please leave a comment. This is Arctane saying, hope the information has been useful. Peace and enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks. Bye.